Roxanne's on the way.
One.
So where do you want me to sit?
Just here. Just here.
Here.
Oh, Jacques, could you sit at the head of the table? Yeah, that's fine. I've even prepared some paper for you if you want to draw some diagrams and stuff.
You want to start the questions before they come?
Should we?
It's up to you.
Just informal meeting. We're just going to sit around and I'm going to film it. So.
I'd like to be able to answer whatever questions you guys can raise for posterity.
Yes.
We just got a nasty letter from Zeitgeist people saying, why are you charging for books? Why don't you give them away?
Right.
Because there's 40,000 haven't printed. If they keep putting the load on us, we can't carry it. We live in a monetary system. They don't say, take all the land you want, Jock. We put up 10 buildings, we paid for it.
Exactly.
And I don't know what they expect, but a lot of these, I don't know if you know this, but one of the girls put up $5,000 for the taxi.
Yeah, Heather.
Yeah, Heather.
Yeah.
And they wrote it and it said something about, be transparent, let me see where the money is going. She put up the money, they didn't. What the hell have they got to demand on Heather?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's amazing that they don't seem to understand that.
If you could give away your books for free, you would, but you can't. You're in a
How
monetary
do I print
system.
them?
Yeah, exactly.
When we make these videos, it takes me 2.5 years to make the models for that opening film.
Right.
And in the meantime, they want me to just give it to everybody. I'm not Bill Gates. If I were, I would. I don't know, maybe you have to write them and tell them those things.
It's a shame.
Apparently, are either very young kids that don't understand.
Because we have to do that with our events as well. We can't just pay for an event and just give it away free tickets. Because we have to fund that event.
That's right.
And people say, why don't you just have it for free?
Because they don't give us the auditorium
Exactly,
for free.
exactly.
If you can get them to do that, we will.
Yeah.
And even if we
Or
did
if
it
you
someplace
pay
for
for it,
free, you still
pay
have
for the printing of the books, we'll give them
things
away.
like that if you want to record things.
But don't put it on Roxanne and Jock. We've been doing a lot for years. Oh, this is good. I see you got some paper for me.
Yes.
I don't know if you can photograph the drawings,
I
if you find you
yeah.
can do any.
I'll come
It should
over.
be alright, yes.
So, could you just talk a little bit about, maybe get started on what you were explaining to me yesterday about automation, and I was talking to you about this.
I have to sit much closer to hear that.
Do you want me to move over here?
What is that?
I was talking to you about this book, and you said it doesn't really go the whole way.
No, it doesn't include the money system, banks, and all that.
Yeah.
It just talks about some aspects of the system.
Yeah.
And it's not. It doesn't show how to educate people so they can work together. See, a lot of books, even the books on my list, like semantics, doesn't touch the system.
Right.
And I understand some communists picked up the book on general semantics, and he wrote that capitalist A is not capitalist B. But they're so similar it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, but semantics deals with communication, language, which is good, but it doesn't touch the system.
Right.
And if you don't touch the system, you really are not dealing with social change. At least that's the way I see it. But if you have any counter arguments, bring them up. I would like people to say, instead of, suppose I don't want to live in a round city. Well, what's the matter with it? Well, transportation or something. But if they don't say anything, I don't know what to do. As they say, well, our houses, suppose I don't want to live next door to niggers. Suppose they're brought up in the South. Well, I'm going to say, well, they don't want to live next door to you either. If you're a bigot, but they don't think about those things.
Right.
They say, oh, there are going to be spics living next door to me. A lot of mixed up people in the world, and it's very hard to get to all of them.
How can we kind of get that out of the system where people are so dependent on other people's opinions so they can form their own opinions? How do we break that?
Fortunately, we don't have to convince everybody.
Yeah.
See, it's just, I probably can say no more than 100 people made this world. I mean, the electric lights, the power generators, I don't think it's more than, and we all live on their backs. You know what I mean? And I always ask people, they come to help the Venus Project. And I tell them, can you increase food growth? No. Can you do this? No. I said, how can you help? Go back to school and study some useful profession. And, but they want to help, Then write to people, talk to people, do whatever you can. That's all I can say. But if there are questions, they should ask all questions. Now, there are articles coming out, Fresco gets his money from the Vatican. That's not true at all. I get nothing from the Vatican. Or he gets it from the Rothschild banking in England. A lie, completely unreal. I think I know why people do that, just to divert attention. But they don't know what they're writing about. Or he's got 2 Mercedes. He doesn't have any cars at all. Oh, they may have seen a helicopter on our land.
Yeah.
Somebody flew in next door. But they think Fresco has helicopters and all kinds of things. And somebody has to tell them that. That cooperation means joint venture. Don't put the load on us. If you can't make a donation, talk to people about it. I always tell people to not attack religion, because there's so many religious people in the world, we can't afford to have them attack us. Just say that I think the Venus Project carries out the Christ teachings, Mohammedan's teachings. It's world without exploitation or abuse. And I think that religious people, if they knew that, would not be against it. So if you go to church, talk about the Venus Project. Say, yes, we always gave lip service, but the Venus Project is proposing a world without money. What's the matter with money? I always tell people, Jesus said, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. There's no money in heaven as far as I know. I don't think there's private property, and I don't think there's social stratification, except for God and his angels. But I don't see that, and they say, well, my kingdom is up there. They don't understand the Lord's Prayer then. And also, do unto others, you have others do unto you. That means don't kill people, to me. So I would say, when Larry King said, what do you think of religion? I said, it's good. When are they putting it into practice? I've never met a Christian. I mean, a person that behaves that way. Have you? Maybe there are some, like Doctors Without Borders. You know who they are? Yeah. They go to other lands and feed people and treat them medically on their own without any money. But they have to work in the States to save up to go there, to be able to do that for 2 years or a year. Yeah. And they should be sponsored by the federal government or the public. And not. To me, they're really religious people. I respect them. If they go to church, work, and then go and help people in an earthquake and all that, that's great. I can't go on the World Lecture Tour and unless I buy airline tickets. Yes. And the government doesn't give me airline tickets. They go and tell people what you're doing. Then when we get to a certain place, they tell us that the venue for the lecture hall is $3,000 for 3 hours. Jesus Christ. Public doesn't volunteer anything, and they don't come anywhere near what we need to do the job. You'll have to talk to them. It's bad for me to defend myself, Yes. It's tough. And then when they see that shit about the Vatican sponsoring us, the Vatican doesn't even know us. But they're going to spread whatever they can out there. Does that stuff work? You can't tell?
I can't tell yet. It's a little, I don't know yet. What's happening now is that Andrew was telling me that the book, the best that money can't buy is going out on the internet, and a lot of the Zygites members are putting it up and saying that everything that we have should be free because it's to help mankind, and all Jacques' models should be free and out there, open source. But they never put any money up to get it published. You know what I mean? They haven't contributed. It's not cooperative. We carry the whole thing. We had to work on the outside in order to pay for that. We had to work on the outside in order to pay for everything there. And so Jacques could make the models. You know, they never cooperated.
That might make sense if somehow the movement could supplement your income you get from that, so then you could do that. But that's not going to happen, is it?
No, they don't. They don't donate. Very few donations.
Whatever the name of this building is, they didn't say come here and stay here for a week. You know.
As soon as money gets involved in stuff, it makes everything weird. And you know, it's.
Yeah, but they don't understand that we're paying for it in order to put it out there.
Yes, I mean, and to the logistics of travelling around the world, you know, it costs a lot of money. I mean, how much have you spent on plane tickets?
They
Over 50,000 just on plane tickets for the whole thing. Then hotels, 150 a night, 100 a night. You can get it that little.
Wow.
Because Jacques needs air conditioning, you know what I mean, for his sinus problem. So it's, you know, I hate harping on that a lot. We've been harping on that a lot since we got here.
Maybe you shouldn't say anything about it and let other people, but don't defend yourself on it, because as soon as then you have to keep reiterating and keep going. Just ignore it altogether. I think that's not.
We've been doing that anyway.
And then you guys can put up some posts and say stuff, but don't even respond to it.
Because you constantly get new people coming in that say these things, the same old things, and you just have to explain to them.
It's just like people. It's always killed me when he said, well, we want you to be transparent about everything, and they've never put up a dime.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Where does your money go to? I think I must have made at least, over the 30 years, I probably made $1 million and put it all in here. They haven't done anything.
Right.
That's what our money goes to. That's what it's for. There's nothing else that it goes to. We're not interested in anything else.
You shouldn't even begin to try and justify it. It's just waste. Yeah, no. These people just have too much time on their hands, and you know, there's more important things to worry about. You know, it's like, you know, can we see if all your earnings of the last, you know, their earnings? Can we see yours? There's your transparency.
If I give you $1, where does it go? What transparency?
It's just splitting hairs. Yeah.
I'm going to wipe my ass for you.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Seems good so far.
Do you know what you should do? You know.
You have to look for it until.
Do you know what you should do? When somebody says something outrageous about you, you should say something even more outrageous. Like they say you sponsored, you know, the Vatican sponsors you. You say yes, yes, and also the Rothschilds and all the other one. We're getting the income is flying. Yeah? Tell you where.
I wish we had them sponsoring us.
Bill Gates wants to borrow money from us.
I should always make it even more outrageous, because then it just debunks what they're saying. Like, oh yeah, okay.
When you ask questions, speak up, because they don't work that good. Are you waiting for others?
Yeah, but they're. I said 11:30 because we were going to meet downstairs, so I don't think they're going to be here before then. You know, so.
You had that question about automation?
We're talking about what I'm interested in Jacques, is
Tell us the Roxanne. She'll tell
Can you hear him now or no?
Can I talk? Well, I'll say it very loud. The automation, acceleration, more no jobs for people.
Yes.
We were talking yesterday about how when you talk to people about, you know, there are going to be less jobs, then they start listening, because everybody. So the end of monotonous work, and how that's going to render more and more people out of work. So automation and stuff like that.
Did you hear that?
No, I couldn't
I
hear
remember what you were talking about yesterday with, he has trouble with accents too. I mean,
I see. Sorry.
Yeah, so it makes it harder. You were talking to Jason a lot about no work in the future. The professions would be automated. Is that the issue mainly?
That's it, yeah.
But we would like to get it on camera. He'd like to get it on camera, what you said. It was excellent. Because people don't understand how things would be automated and they will be out of a job.